Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I have a good news or a bad news, depending with what perspective you are looking at it. But tomorrow will be the last game of 22 of our beloved Juventus versus Lazio. A big game, epic game that can change a lot of things in ranking of Serie A. It is tomorrow versus Lazio in our stadium with Sarri coming back. It depends, I told you, good news or bad news, depending how you're looking at it. Why? Because we were all thinking that international break with all the players going to Qatar and we having the possibility to continue to start from scratch our physical preparation would benefit Juventus. But when we are looking at the list of the players called up for the national teams, it is a total disaster. 11 players will leave and will not be there with Juventus to work on that preparation. It's a disaster, especially if we are comparing with the other teams of Italy and the number of players that are leaving their respective clubs. A total disaster, and especially one name. There is one player that I am totally pissed off because the coach of that national team, he called him up. Unnecessary, totally disgusting. We speak about that also, Juve Lazio, of course, before going into the World Cup. Put a maximum of likes, subscribe to the channel if you want to, and we open Tutto Sport. Tutto Sport with a beautiful title, because that's what we spoke about in that longer video yesterday. La Juve fa di nuovo paura. Juventus is scaring people again. Yes, it is. Yes, it is true. If you are looking at the rumor of our enemies, speaking about Juventus, as you can see in that double page, clamore e polemiche. Clamor, a lot of blah blah, but also a lot of controversy. The rivals, our opponents, are scared again. This is written in Tutto Sport and it's totally correct. They are scared. Not only the anti-Juve people, but also some people of Juve that were actually criticizing Juventus probably a bit too much and never happy. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. Maybe Juventus will be out of that top 4, but if miracle can happen, the miracle can say that Juventus can even potentially even be second. Second after a disaster start. The season is already a disaster. We are out of Champions League. We missed a lot of points. There is still no proposition in terms of playing style. We have half of the team that is out because of injuries. Total disaster. We are still not confident and not sure if Massimiliano Allegri will be there in January or next year, 23-24. A lot of doubts, question marks, missing players in terms of Mercato. And you can say whatever you want, but with all of that, we can potentially be second tomorrow. Attenzione! Fabrizio Ravanelli was speaking about Lazio and Juve. He's a double X. He played in two teams. Our last number 11 that raised that Champions League in the air. He said he had a dream. He had a dream. Imagine if Federico Chiesa could be the one that decide the game of Lazio. That would be fantastic. And that's what we are all hoping for. That number 22. Last year, he's now the number 7. He's able to decide Juve Lazio. I believe that he deserves it after everything that he had waiting at home, being injured of that ACL. That would be the fantastic epilogue of 2022 for Juventus. My friends, we continue because I told you how important match day 15 is. Because there will be Atalanta versus Inter. A draw would be fantastic for them. But also Milan playing versus Fiorentina, the team of Italiano, with Jovic able to score finally in Serie A. But there is also today already Napoli versus Udinese. Napoli that unfortunately, or lucky for them, they will not play versus the strongest black and white team of Italy. Yes, I'm saying it because a few weeks ago, while some people from anti-Juve were mocking Juventus, they were saying that Udinese was the real black and white team of Juve. Guys, what did we have to listen? What kind of mockery? And that's why I'm defending Juventus even more. Don't touch my Juventus. Don't touch. Guys, I tell you, Matchday 15 can be a spectacular one. Speaking about the breaking news, leaked news, next year, 23-24, Juventus can play with a white and pink shirt. Represented the Monte Rosa. What is Monte Rosa? It's a mountain that you can see from Torino in the Alps, the second highest mountain. Can be a symbol on our away shirt. Really strange. We don't go with only colors, but also with a kind of pattern. We don't know too much about it, but pink is back. Before you are exciting, I don't know if it will be 95% pink with white elements or 95% white with pink elements. Anyway, white and pink, you never go wrong with that kind of colors. Before entering Juve Lazio with Sarri, also speaking about Conte, Antonio, about Bentancur, and also the list of the players that are going to Qatar. Guys, I recommend you to download OneFootball. Best app to remain up to date with everything. Not only Juve, guys, not only Juve. It's about football, women football, youth football, but especially men football, and also the teams in Qatar. Live scores, news, who has been called up, yes or no, who is in total form, what is happening with the Mercato, because we'll speak about Sergej Milinkovic-Savic today. We'll speak about Karsdorp and even Odriozolo today in that video. Well, One Football is anticipating the video, so the link is into the description. It's totally for free for iOS and for Android. Speaking about Sarri, that will come back, and it's not the first time. He already went back in the Allianz Stadium as an ex-Juve coach. Well, he will come back. What failed with Maurizio Sarri, the relationship with Cristiano Ronaldo, since day one, since the day that they met, and they met each other on that boat, with Sarri asking Cristiano Ronaldo to play as number 9. He refused, he said no. And then also his people management, but also representing Juventus, still a Juve that he was totally missing. A mistake of Juve choosing Sarri because you already knew, a mistake of Sarri choosing Juve because you already knew, something that was maybe on the field with the idea of Sarri ball, something that could have potentially be a really great one, but that totally failed. And that's why I'm telling, I don't know what will be the future of Massimiliano Allegri. Will he be the coach in 23, 24, 25? Will he be the coach of Juventus in January? We don't know. We don't know about his future. One thing is sure, take your time to take the right decision. In terms of a coach that you believe in every single aspect, in terms of football proposition that you want to go for. Is it defensive? Is it offensive? Is it balanced? Whatever. Is it more Premier League-esque? Is it more European? What kind of formation? 4-3-3, 3-5-2? Coach, you have to find his skills, but also in terms of person. What kind of person do you want to? Do you want to go towards an Antonio Conte that yesterday spoke again in front of a press conference of Tottenham, saying that he doesn't know about the future? He said that his contract is expiring on the 30th of June. And then he will see there is enough time for the management of Tottenham to check if they are happy with the improvement that he brought to Tottenham, that is 4th at the moment in Premier League, yes or no. Why am I saying it? Because we know with Antonio Conte, he has a lot of great benefits, and he's one that is able to rebuild a team. Absolutely no doubt about it. But what about his personality? What about his being him? Antonio Conte that will never change in any club that he is going. Is that the coach that you want to go for? If it's a yes, let's go for it. If it's a no, think about it twice and don't rush the moment with some hashtags, being influenced by some hashtags. Speaking about Tottenham, there is a player that came from Juve and went to Tottenham. We're speaking about Bentancur that will go to Qatar 2022 with Uruguay. He spoke really well about Juventus, saying that whatever happens, because he's really happy now in Premier League, he's showing really beautiful things that he never showed at Juve, but he said Juventus will, for me, always be a family. I really want to thank Rodrigo Bentancur. I never doubt about his potential. I was sad about what he was able to deliver. He only showed with sparkles, with flashes, with Allegri and also with Maurizio Sarri, absolutely not with Pirlo, but I'm happy to see at least an ex-player speaking well about Juventus. Guys, we continue with Mercato, boom boom, Gazzetta dello Sport is going full power immediately with Juve colpo su colpo, Juve boom and another boom. Mercato is totally crazy. They are putting, of course, as usual, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic on the front page, but also Karsdorp, the two players that are playing in Rome. One in Lazio, one in Roma. Why these two? Well, we have to think about it. Because Adrien Rabiot, his contract is also expiring at the end of the year. He will leave for free. If he stays, apparently the rumors are saying that he's asking 10 million euro. We need to take a decision with Adrien Rabiot. After his excellent performance of 22-23, or at least until now, until the World Cup, what do we do with him? He has a contract of 7.5 or 8 million euro. That is already a lot. He's even asking for an increase of salary. If we invest in him, that means that we don't have to spend a lot of money for the value of a player, but only the salary. But that means also that Adrien Rabiot will be one of the players that is earning the most. Probably the player that is earning the most. Does he deserve it? Absolutely not. So a big decision will have to be taken on Adrien Rabiot. Also to program the future midfielder that can come. And who is that midfielder? Well, we are speaking about Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. The agent was in Torino, not to speak with Juve normally, but with Torino because of his brother, the goalkeeper of Torino, to extend the contract, yes or no. The rumors are saying, the leaked rumors are saying, that the agent also met the management of Juve. Why? Because Juventus, they want to make sure that they have the yes of the Serbian player before the World Cup in terms of salary. Lazio is offering him 4.5 to extend his contract, that at the moment he has absolutely no intention to, while Juventus is already increasing to 6 million. Having the yes of Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, the formal verbal yes of the player, could push away all the other teams offer, Manchester United, but also all the other teams from Spain, from Premier League, from Ligue 1, Paris Saint-Germain, and so on, so that if he's doing a fantastic World Cup, he already has the yes with Juventus that we will try to buy at the end of 2023, maybe to replace Adrien Rabiot. But also Juventus identified for the winter the position to strength, because we know that we have a weakness there, and I will surprise a lot of people. No, it's not the fullback on the left, but it's the right wing that we want to reinforce, because playing with, again, 3 men in the back, 3-5-1-1 or 3-5-2, whatever, it means that Danilo is going to the center of the defense. We already spoke about it. He already even admitted it in press conferences that that's his preferred position. Well, Cuadrado is there alone, and he's totally exhausted, and he will also leave at the end of the year, so we are already thinking about the future. 2 names that can be cheap solution could be Odriozolo, that we already spoke about 2 days or 3 days ago, the player that is not playing with Real Madrid. They can find a really cheap agreement between Real and Juve. But the other name that now is upcoming is Karsdorp from Roma, that has a really bad relationship with the Portuguese trainer of La Capitale, of the capital of Italy, Roma. We are speaking about Jose Mourinho. Karsdorp or Odriozolo? Let me know in the comment. I'm really curious. After you putting a like, don't forget to put a like. Well, we continue with the other news, guys. Corriere dello Sport is speaking about Maradona Napoli, because today they are playing versus Udinese. The stadium will be totally full because they want to finish the year with a win without Kvaratskhelia, because they want to continue to play in 23 with a big advantage in Serie A. Losing today with Milan or Lazio winning will make, and hopefully not Lazio, but maybe Milan, will make sure that the gap is a bit closer and not that small. They're speaking also about Paulo Dybala, that will go to the World Cup. Even if he was injured, he will probably play tomorrow with Roma, his last game of 2022 with clubs, before joining La Selección Argentina. A player that I'm quite happy for, that he's able to go there, because he missed the Copa America 2 years ago when they won. What about our players that are partially injured? Vlahovic, Di Maria and Paredes. None of them will start tomorrow. Also thinking about that World Cup, Di Maria touched the ball a bit versus Verona. Paredes was totally a ghost. Vlahovic didn't even travel. Will he be there on the bench or not versus Lazio? Vlahovic, we are not sure. Chiesa will be there. So now we are entering the list of the people that will go to Qatar 2022. And I told you in the beginning of the video, if we were all thinking that that moment could be the best one to start from scratch the physical preparation, well, we have to think about it twice. And what are the benefits of the other teams versus a Juventus that is carrying them again? Well, 11 players will travel with from away from La Continassa, from Torino, from Juventus. A disaster, and luckily Italy is not even participating, so that we have still a few players with Juventus. But guys, it's a total disaster. 11 players leaving. If you are comparing with Napoli with 3 players, hey guys, it's world day and night. Napoli, they will have the possibility to let them players rest, and then to prepare again a fantastic preparation for Serie A 2.0 with all the players, nearly all the players at disposal. Lazio, 2 players leaving. We are speaking about Vecino, Uruguay, and Milinkovic-Savic for Serbia. What about Milan and Inter? I have to admit, 7 players for each team of Milan. Torino with 5 players, Roma with 4, Atalanta 4. So you see that there is a big gap between the 11 players of Juve and then the other teams like Roma, Atalanta with 4, and then Napoli with only 3. Total disaster. Guys, there was one player I told you that I was furious that he has been called up, and no, it's not for Qatar 2022, but it's for Mancini, the Nazionale, the Azzurri. He called up Chiesa. I don't understand it, and it makes me totally pissed off. It was totally unnecessary to play these friendly games that are, first of all, unnecessary. Albania, I believe, and then Austria. I'm not even sure who we are playing against, but he called up Chiesa. We we were patient, Juventini were patient, and we said that it was the correct decision of Allegri and the medical staff to do not rush Federico Chiesa. We want to see him so much on the field with Juve. We understand it. We said, you know what, let's wait and let's see him versus Cremonese in top form. Mancini is taking the risk. Not sure if Chiesa will play or not, but he's taking the risk. Totally disgusting. On the other side, I have to say congratulations to Miretti and Fagioli for the first time called up in the national team, and that's really beautiful because they deserve it, our young boys. Speaking about who has been called up and will not be there with Juventus, well, USA has called up Weston McKennie. Then we have for Poland 2 players, Szczesny and Milik. For Serbia, 2 players, Kostic, Krostic and Dusan Vlahovic. For l'équipe de France, Adrien Rabiot, the star of the 25 players that has been called up. Argentina with 2 players from Juventus, Paredes and Di Maria, that unfortunately we didn't see that much with Juve, but we will be able to follow them with Argentina, where I'm sure they will do quite well, and they will play, if they go to the final, they will play 7 games, full 90 minutes, I'm sure about that. What about Brazil, the team with the most Juventini? Danilo, we have Alexandro and Bremer that made it to the World Cup. Super happy for Bremer, he totally deserved it. Guys, you see a lot of players leaving, and on top of the number 11 that are leaving, on top of that, a lot of them are participating with teams that can potentially go until the final, so from the beginning until the 18th of December. Total disaster, Qatar 2022. Thank you for following the channel. Let me know what you think about it. I really like that you are here, that you are taking your time. If you're still there at the end, put a maximum of like and let me know. Tell me, Beppe, I was here until the last minute, until the 16th minute of the video. Grazie, forza, Juve.